we were not meant to know good and evil. We were meant to know good, not evil. And really and truly, can you be mad at that?
Just make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I am at the point in the creation story where the scene is set, garden is perfect, everybody's doing great, and God gives man one instruction. I've given you everything. There's just one tree that you may not eat. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And they eat of it, and with their disobedience comes consequences. So the interesting parts of this is that they did not disobey on their own. Some things that jumped out at me. One, there was a serpent who spoke to the woman and told her, you should eat of this fruit, because when you eat it, you will be like gods, knowing good and evil. And then later on, when he kicked them out of the garden as consequence of their disobedience, he said, I don't want them to stay here with the knowledge of good and evil, and then they might eat of the tree of life and live forever. What this is telling me is that we were not meant to know good and evil. We were meant to know good, not evil. And really and truly, can you be mad at that? I hear so many people talking about, but you know, the fact that you know both, that means you have a choice. Have you seen the rubbish we've done with the choices we've made? Have you just taken any look at the world? Could you imagine a world where we did not know good and evil, where we only made choices between good, better, best? I don't know about you, but that sounds perfectly lovely to me. That sounds like the kind of world I want to be a part of. I can't lie, I'm tired of this one. But anyways, so conclusion, step one, man was not meant to know good and evil. Why did he give us this test for disobedience? I will never understand. But in my reading, I've noticed that he doesn't often explain his reasons why. He gives you instructions. Now, I genuinely believe that the only person who doesn't owe me an explanation for the why things are is the being outside of me who created me. Because then if I knew why everything is the way it is, then that means I would be on the same level with him. There's a reason why there's an order to it, in that you're the created and he's the creator. You're the designed and he's the designer. And because you are the designed, you are meant to follow instructions to function well. He can choose to explain the why if he wants, but it doesn't seem necessary. And that was actually something I struggled with for a long time. How is he going to give me a brain and then tell me don't ask him why? Well, you get to ask everybody else why, because everybody else is a human being just like you. You're all on the same level. So they owe you explanations, but the supreme being who made everything around you doesn't owe you explanations. And to be fair, could our brains actually contain the why? Because of course he didn't make our brains, like we said, we are an image. He didn't make our brains to function at the same capacity as his does. The reflection, not the actual thing. You are God-like, but you're not God. So can our brains actually understand the why? I don't know. But then in my reading, I've noticed that one of the things that he really wants from his creations is faith. Unwavering trust in him. If I give you my reasons why, then you trust in the reasons, not me. You believe in the explanations, but not me myself. So there has to be some level of uncertainty or unanswered questions for faith to actually exist. All right, so they fell. And then everybody who took part in the disobedience got a consequence and a punishment. Woman's punishment was, will have children in sorrow. Your desire will be to your husband, and he will rule over you. All right, so what I'm understanding is we were not, as part of the original plan, we were not meant to have children in sorrow. And that's one of the things that I genuinely fear. It's the whole childbirth process. 2, our desire wasn't to be to a husband. And 3, he was not meant to rule over you. So that's part of the curse. I remember the first time I read that was actually months ago. And I just kind of sat with it. Because I was like, I didn't mind being made to help him. That's not a lower position in my perspective. I don't mind being made to help and to support, to admonish. We're still doing this together. But now I have been placed under. He's meant to rule over me. Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that. That's the whole point. It's a punishment. You're not supposed to like it. And man was cursed with hard work that you will never eat until you sweat. You must do hard work. And this is where I think I really hate feminism. I already have my curse. You still want me to take man's unto? Why? Are you trying to eradicate us? Or do you not see this? Does that make sense? I'm already stumbling on the mine and now I have to take somebody else's on? But the one part that I couldn't really understand was the serpent's own. Because the words of the curse for man and woman was clear. But then the curse for the serpent was, you will crawl on your belly. And I find it very interesting that science actually shows you that snakes originally have legs, but they're not usable. So you removed their mobility option. So you are cursed to crawl on your belly, and then the serpent is also given a parable, can we say? He said, I will put enmity or hatred between you and the woman. Her seed will bruise your head, and you will bruise her seed's heel. So I know seed is offspring, and if I read these words directly, it sounds like the serpent is to have children, and then there will be an ongoing battle between the woman's children and the serpent's children, and there will be one instance when one of the serpent's children will bruise the heel of Eve's children, and then one of Eve's children will bruise the head of the serpent. And I was really confused over that. So I decided, then it's probably time to do some more digging. What does that mean? And I think for the first time in my life, I actually understand what salvation is. Because it's one of those words, there's a very long list of them that I just do not like to hear anymore because people use it so meaninglessly. I mean, I know to them it has meaning, but I like real life application of things. And you telling me that I need to be saved when I am completely fine, at least 200 days of the year, doesn't make any sense to me. Saved from what? And that I should be so excited that Jesus came to save me and Jesus' salvation is here for all of us. Salvation from what? From the world that I'm pretty comfortable in? That doesn't make sense to me. But now it finally makes sense. You see, in my reading, what I understood is that, well, the serpent was being used by Satan, who is God's enemy. And as an enemy, you seek to destroy whatever it is of your foe. So, in his super intelligence, he got the woman to introduce disobedience, which is sin, into creation. Eating the fruit was not disobedience. Eating is eating. But eating what your creator said don't eat is sin, because that's disobedience. He made you. So the only laws that you're meant to follow are the ones that he designed. And if you don't follow his laws, then that's a transgression. All of the laws are inconsequential. So you following the information given to you from somebody else outside of him that contradicts his is sin. And the interesting part about the serpent's curse is that from that moment that man sinned, that humanity went sideways, God had a plan to bring humanity back to the original. And the original design was no knowledge of good and evil. That is salvation. Now, why the plan has to be so complex and span so many years when it took one action to destroy it I don't know. But then again, I did not make the laws of the universe. That's the beauty of it. Well, not the beauty, but the interesting thing about it. If you think about it, if I create something and it has a way it was meant to function, and then there's a dysfunction, then there's a way that I can restore it back if I want, or just scratch it, which if I were God, that's what I would have done. Just because why? But out of his love for his creation, however that is defined, he decided instead of just scrapping everything, I am going to make a plan to restore them back to original function. And that made me pause. That made me pause, kind of think a little bit that really the only other places that I see people go through such means and ends, extreme means and ends to reach others is when you love. Like, I'm going to go to extreme ends if my sister says she's suicidal. But if somebody I don't know, don't care about, says that they are, then I'll try, but I'm not going to make no extreme plan. I don't love you. I love her. I don't love you. And I think that's the part that, oh Lord, no, I get it. No, I get the thank you and the excitement about salvation. His design was broken by a force outside of his. And instead of just punishing the disobedience and leaving it there, he made a plan to restore them back to his presence, being able to be with them physically all the time. And in this perfect connection, in this perfect world, is the knowledge of evil that causes all of this pain and suffering and heartache and the entire long list of baga drama we go through in life. It's the knowledge of evil. It starts there. But we were not meant to know it. We were not meant to know it. And I don't know about you, but I think that there is no better world than one where evil does not exist. And if there's a plan for restoring us back to that, yeah, I want to know more. I really would like to know more.